morning, YouTube. Old Guy 379 coming at you here from lovely Billings, Montana. What a great morning. What a way to start the day. You show up to a place and then they tell you only have an appointment for one of the 4 orders on your trailer that's only on 2 pallets. And then they want to argue with you about not taking the other 3 little orders. Basically, just to let you know, I told them flat out, either you take all of it or don't take any of it, and I'll take it to cold storage. Because this is one of those places where this happens frequently. And I know what would happen as soon as if I wouldn't have said anything and just let them pull that off the truck, I'd pull away from the door with 1 order pulled off and a lumper receipt for like $300, or lumper bill for $300. Excuse me, because they would have had to have broken down a pallet to get the 1 order out of the middle of it and then stack everything else back on that pallet. I have 3 pallets for them, and they're stacked on top of each other, but they're just little pallets. Actually, I take it back, they're in 2 spots. 3 pallets, 2 spots, but the 1 order is in the middle of the bottom pallet. So anyway, they're unloading it, they're taking it, it's all good. It was funny to see the email chain back and forth between the broker and unloading service here. And so the broker came back and asked, "Are you going to take this stuff?" And she's like, "Yeah, your driver told me we had to." So I sent a text off to the broker and said, "That's not exactly what I told her. Here's what I told her." You know, so, but I'm not here to complain. I mean, I guess I am a little bit. These lumper fees are out of line. I literally have less than 200 pieces for this place on 3 pallets, 4 different items, and like I said, I guarantee you when I come out of here, my lumper receipt is going to be like $250 to $300. I've paid over $300 in a lumper fee for a similar order or similar delivery at this same place. Why? Really? For that tiny little bit, $300, and you were only 30 minutes, an hour tops unloading that with 1 person at $16 an hour, and then we'll throw all your insurance and everything costs in there. We'll say $40 an hour, and you're going to charge me $300. I think drivers, as drivers, owner operators, trucking companies, we really need to push for legislation to get a handle on this. It's out of line. It is absolutely, completely out of line, and drivers and companies are just paying it, going, well, if we don't pay it, we don't have any freight. If we don't pay it, they don't get the freight. Understand that. You know, it's not fair to the industry to tie up a truck for half a day and then charge them a half a day's revenue sometimes for the privilege of hauling their freight at a lower than, how should I say this? Just a cheap butt rate, man. Plain and simple. And not everybody's doing that. We're not all hauling for cheap. I don't like to discuss rates, but I mean, I see the rates in the trucking industry out there across the board, and they're atrocious, and people are still climbing all over the top of each other to get those loads because they don't want to lose their business. I get that. I totally understand that. It's a tough place to be in. So that's kind of my directive now, is I'm going to bring up a lot more stuff like that, subject matter like that. What do you do in a situation like that? Well, I made up my mind. I was just going to take their stuff to cold storage and put it in cold storage and have them invoice the broker for storage on the freight. And then the broker could deal with the customer. It's not my problem. It's really not my problem that they had poor communication. The company that I'm delivering to added 3 orders to their original order and late on Friday, and the broker didn't get all the information, and she actually didn't even email. It's kind of on her too a little bit. She didn't email the company that I'm delivering to until this morning for an appointment, which is really, that's bad. The stuff was picked up Friday morning around, it was before lunchtime. So she had Friday afternoon that she could have made that appointment arrangement, but sat on it until this morning. So anyway, we're all good. We're getting unloaded. Sorry, I'm looking at myself in the video. I'm seeing how sideways my beard was. Just want to say I'm rocking this badass high-vis shirt. I'm not big on high-vis, but my stepdaughter got me this for Father's Day. It's got my name on the back. It was his hand on the back of it. So that's pretty cool. Just so you know why I'm wearing high-vis, you know. It's just a cool shirt. And it's a little chilly here. It's like 53 degrees. It's not super cold, but it's chilly and a little bit of a breeze, and it's coming straight out of the north. I kind of want to change gears a little bit here. As a lot of you know, we lost another, dare I say, legendary driver out of the trucking industry this month, Dave, from the Smart Trucking channel. Now, I've been following Dave probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 years now, and always full of good information, and I like his delivery. He's just laid back, mellow, and just full of good knowledge. And for new drivers especially, or guys who are passionate and want to learn things, his videos are still a great source of information and are good teaching tools. My videos are a little different. They kind of turn into me just kind of griping a little bit about the state of the industry, but I think I can't take his place, but I think with his passing, maybe my content needs stepped up a little bit. And those of us that are out there doing these videos need to step up our content, the quality, that kind of thing, you know, because I think it's important. What I see, and I mentioned this in my last video, are you a professional driver? Or do you consider yourself to be a professional, or whatever it was? But I talked about the difference between professional drivers and amateur drivers. And we have a real serious problem in this industry where I hear guys talk about it. Oh yeah, I'm a professional truck driver. And then I watch how they act out here, and I'm like, that is not how a professional acts. You're not driving like a professional. You're not acting like a professional. You're not talking like a professional. And what we need is the old guys to step up and show the newer truck drivers how they should be acting. And in a way that doesn't just tear down the newer entrants into the industry. I have a tendency to do that. It's kind of my personality, and maybe I need to change that a little bit. I really think that knowing from where I come from and how much influence old drivers had on me when I started, that if you're serious at all about being successful in the trucking industry, and what I mean about being successful, I don't necessarily mean buying a truck and make it $1 billion or whatever, but having what I consider a successful career. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years of driving with 0 accidents, very few tickets, if any. A safety record that, you know, which goes with that beyond recognition, but within that safety record also comes on-time deliveries, product that shows up at the receiver the way it went on the truck when it was loaded from the shipper. You know, just a great reputation that if somebody calls and checks on your driving abilities because you want to change jobs, they don't look at you after you fill out your application and do your job interview and then come back and go, there's some serious discrepancies here, you know. And unfortunately, in every industry, there's those people who don't take a lot of pride in what they do. And I do take a lot of pride in what I do. I actually had some reefer issues last night that we had to fix. And it was something really stupid and way out there that I have never seen before. But we got it fixed and everything. And the guy that was working on the truck, he actually was one of my mechanics when I was managing Diversified Truck Leasing. He was our reefer tech. He's like, man, you sure like your stuff to look nice, don't you? And I said, I do. There's something to say about your equipment and your attitude, and really even a lot of it about your abilities. I mean, if you see a guy driving a truck, the fenders are ripped off, the fairings are hanging off the side of the truck, the mirrors are all banged up, there's yellow paint down the sides of the trailer, you have a tendency to wonder, what the heck? Really? You know, things happen. I've been, you know, I already talked about this way back in the beginning of my channel. I almost ripped my light bar off the back of my tractor, backing into a place that was just a big pain, and I got in kind of a hurry, and it was my fault. It was nobody else's fault. Nobody else did it. I was the one behind the wheel. I bent my bumper. You know, I mean, it happens. Things happen. Sometimes stuff just happens. But most of the time, that stuff can be avoided. Just don't put yourself in that situation. Take your time. Think about what you're doing. And, you know, I've seen so many new guys over the years, and there was a prime example here a couple months ago. Actually, it was just this last weekend, now that I think about it. I was at the 595 truck stop down there in Davie, Florida. And if any of you have been in there, you know all the lanes are one way. And when you pull in, you everything is at a diagonal. So you either back into the left, or from the left into a spot, or you back in on the blind side into a spot. Now imagine, if you will, I'm going to actually get my pen out and I'm going to illustrate this, because it just baffled me. Forgive me here for a second, but right here. So this guy comes in a semi, and this lane's only about 20 feet wide, so it's not real wide, maybe 30 feet, and it's all one way going this direction. Can you see that? He comes in around the corner back here with a 53-foot trailer, sees an empty spot, and he's going to try to pull in this way. There's not enough room. It's only one truck space apart, so they've got about 14 feet there. So now I get there, when I see him, he's got his trailer somehow almost straight across with his tractor jackknifed this way. And I watched him for a minute, and he was going to hit these guys back over here on this side. He was going to rip the hood off of this guy's truck. He was almost hitting this guy's trailer with his tractor. So I got him backed out, and I was not happy about it. I was actually pretty rude, but he wouldn't listen. For one, he was a Somalian dude, nice guy. I mean, nothing against him personally, but he was on his phone, on his headset. He had another person with him who was not a driver, but was standing on way back behind him on the blind side where he couldn't see him. And I looked at him, and I'm like, why aren't you helping him get out? And he's just like, I don't understand. I said, what do you mean you don't understand? Why aren't you helping him? And he just stood there and just shook his head. But he was talking on the headset. And I'm kind of assuming now they were talking back and forth, right? But I got up there alongside the driver's side of the cab, and I just said, stop what you're doing right there and just listen to me. Pay attention to me. I will get you backed out. Because I could see from the ground what he needed to do to get out. And he kept yakking on his phone. And every time, so I'd tell him, all right, turn your wheels to the right. Well, then he'd start backing up, and he'd turn his wheels. I'm like, stop. Don't do anything. I got so frustrated. Like, throw your freaking headset away. Get off the phone. Watch me. Listen to what I'm saying. When I tell you to do it, do it. Kind of like my dad would have been with me when I was just a kid just starting out. And I finally got him out of there, and he was like, oh, thank you. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. Just don't do dumb stuff like that. I said, what were you thinking trying to get in here? Oh, I thought I could make that. I'm like, how? There is not enough room for an F-150 dragging a 30-foot camper to get through there, and you're trying to drag that damn 53-foot trailer in there. This is what I'm talking about. We need new guys to go to the old drivers that have been doing this for a long time and ask questions. Be willing to ask questions. Be willing to take some crap for it. Period. It's going to happen. And be willing to help if you're an old guy. Don't just sit in your truck and video, oh, look at that idiot. I've seen that so much. And there's thousands of videos, long videos and video shorts out there of guys just doing that. Watch this idiot, hey, get out of your truck and go help him. You're so awesome. Show him how to do it instead of being a douche. Okay? I'm just going to call you out. And that's what I liked about Dave. Dave wasn't that guy like me that would be out there going, you dumbass. And maybe he would. I don't know. He is an old timer, but losing guys like him out of the industry hurts the industry, because that's one less guy that had a buttload of experience and told things in a way that made it easy for somebody to understand how to do things correctly. And so, like I said, it is a sad, sad day. And to the family and close friends of Dave, man, my heart just breaks for you. My prayers go out for strength and encouragement, and Dave, if you're listening at all and you can hear me, I am a Christian, so I don't believe necessarily that he hears everything that goes on in the afterlife. But my message, Dave, is, buddy, your trip's done. Grab your stuff and go home and take it easy. I didn't know Dave personally. The Lettuce King I knew of. I didn't know him. But, I think back to guys like my dad and all the old drivers that I grew up around. And it does get to me emotionally, because it's hard. It is hard. It's actually a very close-knit, small community out here. I run into drivers out here all the time that I may only see once in a while. But we have stories and connections and experiences that we share. I run into people all the time that know other people that know me. And I praise God I have a pretty decent reputation out here. But I know a lot of guys that don't have good reputations out here that are well known by a lot of people that they don't think know them, if that makes sense. It's a large, huge, massive group, but at the same time, it's a very small community. It's a small world. So what you do does affect other people, and especially if it's in the positive, man, it really affects people in a great way. So anyway, that's where I'm going to end it. I'm getting the messages that my load is done and my lumper receipt or lumper bill is ready. So, you know what? Let's just, it won't let me do it probably. Let me see. I'm just curious. So I just want to check in a little bit here. I told you my lumper fee would be outrageous. $230 for less than 2 full pallets and 5 items. 5 items. 2 on one pallet, 1 on the other. 4 items, sorry. 2 on one pallet, 1 on each other pallet. $230. Man, I'm in the wrong business. I think I need to be unloading trucks for a living. I think I could be rich. But then my conscience would kick in and I wouldn't be able to live with myself. So I would charge reasonable rates, which would probably do better for the trucking side, but I doubt the warehouses would want me because then their percentage wouldn't be as high. So anyway, just my thoughts on the whole lumper thing, everybody. So I'll continue. I'm going to insert this in this part of the video, and then I'll continue on the rest of the video towards the end there. So have a great day. Oh, it shut my phone off. So anyway, I'm going to pay my lumper bill. Everybody, be super safe out there. Be courteous. Help each other out. Find an old guy or old gal even. There's a lot of older women out here, and I say older, and it's in a respectful meaning. I mean it respectfully, not in a bad way, but that have been driving for a long time to have a ton of experience too. So go find them, ask them questions, learn from them, and maybe they can even learn from you. Like I said in my last video, I've learned things from new guys over the years. It's not just old guys that know stuff. But find another friend out here, make friends, have fun, enjoy it. Let's make trucking enjoyable again. That would be the big thing. Let's make it great again. Make trucking great again. Bruce Wilson over at the Will It Start channel. He did some hats that look like old Marlboro hats that say "Make Trucking Great Again." I think it's kind of cool. I actually have a couple of them. But anyway, enough gibberish, enough BS. I got to get out of here. You guys take it easy, be safe. Keep the shiny side up and the greasy side down, and we'll catch you on the flip-flop. See ya.